John, to all Christians, happy Mezcal. Religious leaders called upon the faithful to implement the values of Mezcal holiday, which are peace, love, and tolerance in their daily lives. They suggested the need to apply all the religious doctrines in such trying times. Alula Taklamariam has more.
Ethiopians celebrate Mezcal every September 27 or 28 to commemorate the finding of the true cross. Peace, love, and tolerance are among the pillars of the Mezcal, where the faithful is urged to implement in their daily lives. Foreign Affairs Department head of the Patriarch Office with the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, Daniel Seifeselassie, said the objective of the Holy Cross is to turn the wicked into decent and eco-motion into reconciliation.
What matters most is that mankind has been granted health and forgiveness on the cross, regardless of all the depravities committed. We, the human beings, are offered unfinished gifts from God, irrespective of our defense. However, the cross rescued us.
Daniel further suggested the need to apply all the religious doctrines in such trying times.
Mezcal in the New Testament is the symbol of survival. It is also a symbol of victory that defeats death. We can live in peace if we only make self-reconciliation and love others too. God taught us the way to reconciliation and we should implement it.
Meanwhile, worshippers express the importance of reaching out the needy while celebrating Mezcal.
Mezcal salam no, Mezcal brahan no, Mezcal netzannet no.
Mezcal is peace, Mezcal is light, and it is freedom too. So when we carry this symbol today, it's important to consider its meaning as well. We need to make peace among our service. It's a good to love one another and help those who are in need of support.
Furthermore, visitors explain the economic value of Mezcal celebration in Ethiopia.
The touristic value, I think it's very high. If tourists knew how large and how fantastic this festival is, they would want to be here to witness it. They would want to be here to be a part of it.
If Africa can visit each other more, if Africa can interact with each other more, if Africa can do business with each other more, Africa will become more prosperous, Africa more profitable. You know, if you look at the statistics, even the trade statistics, Africa don't really do business with Africa. They don't really travel into Africa. They prefer go to Europe, go to America, go to Asia. That is taking money out of the continent. But by the time Africans begin to travel more within Africa, we're going to keep our money within Africa. We're going to develop more within Africa.
Mezcal, the finding of the true cross, is a colorful Ethiopian religious festival which mesmerizes foreign tourists with its peculiar features. Foreign visitors who took part in this year's Mezcal Demera expressed their amusement over the vibrant celebration. They said the celebration is one of the very few colorful religious outdoor celebrations the world has got to preserve. Goshu Meliso has compiled their views as follows. Take a look.
My name is Emma, and I come from China. I think it's very, very wonderful, and this is the first time I participate in such activities, and I'm so happy and very excited. And I think this is the way to express the Ethiopian traditional culture. Yeah, it's kind of like I was diving in it. So yeah, it's very nice. You know, because of COVID, this is the first time I take part in such huge activity. And so many people join here, and I can talk, I can discuss with them, and I can ask how to say happy holiday, happy Mezcal in Amharic. So I think it's a good way to communicate with the local people, and I'm so excited. Yeah, Malika Mezcal.
Thank you so much. Okay, I am Chris Agabi. I come from Nigeria. Okay, first of all, I'm really excited to be here. It's so colorful, it's so beautiful. In fact, I've attended certain festivals, but I've never witnessed such a very colorful, uniting festival that is even religious based like this. It's such a unique opportunity, and I think I'm really enjoying myself here in Ethiopia, here in Addis. It's the first time I'm witnessing this event, although this is not the first time I've visited Ethiopia, but I can say I'm enjoying this vibe. I'm enjoying this new part of the Ethiopia that I'm discovering. It's a wonderful feeling, I can say. This is an opportunity for people to visit Ethiopia. Of course, you hear several things about the country, but of course there are very interesting part of the country that you need to come and discover for yourself. If I didn't come this time, I wouldn't know that such a magnificent activity happens in this country. It's quite it's quite impressive.
My name is John Hunter, and I'm from New York City, and I've been in this beautiful country since the middle of August, and unfortunately I'm leaving at the end of this week to return to New York City. This festival was planned as part of my stay in Ethiopia. Originally it was not part of the trip, but our travel agent said you must stay for Mezcal. It's absolutely the most important festival of the year for the country, and you don't want to miss it. And it has proven to be an amazing and incredible event. I've never really quite seen anything like it. New York and the United States has its own festivals, but nothing really compares with the enthusiasm of this event, the people from all over the country, the beautiful costumes, the beautiful dress, the religious ceremonies. Everything is just really quite amazing, and I'm happy to be here. I'm very happy to be a witness to this and to be able to go back to New York City and tell all of my friends and family about this place and this festival, so that I hope someday some of them will come and be part of it as well.
My name is Rachel McCall, and I am from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm very happy to be here. This is a really big moment for me, and I feel really grateful for this opportunity. Yeah. The next person I see that's not here with me, I'm going to recommend this place. Even when it's not mezcal, they should definitely come see. They should definitely come see this place. And if they ever get the chance, they should definitely come to this celebration.
My name is Joshua Doherty, and I'm from Salina, Texas. It's a great holiday because it's the discovery of the real cross, which is very exciting, and religion's a lot to our family, so it's very good to have this holiday, and it's very important.
Do you have Ethiopian descent?
Yes, my mother is Ethiopian, but my father's American. It feels good because I know where I come from, and it's not like I'm just there without knowing where I am in Africa.
Ethiopia has the first or second nation ever to become Christian. And it was just my fortune that I booked it at the time to be able to see the Mezcal Festival. And I'm just thrilled to be here to experience just a little bit of what it would be like to be an Ethiopian. I enjoy the culture, I enjoy the people that I've had here. And today is, I think, going to be one of the highlights of my trip to Ethiopia. And I would encourage anybody that if they have the opportunity to come to Ethiopia. The people are generous, wonderful, and happy. And I've really enjoyed my time here so far.
Here for the festival, as you can see, people are having fun. The priests are enchanting and stuff. The tourists all over the world. I'd like to tell my fellow Zambians to please come to Ethiopia. It's a very beautiful place to be.
This festival is very interesting, and I'm looking forward to see what it's all about.
This time is good. I come for the Mescal festival, and I love it.
More on Mescal news. Apart from religious values, Mescal Demera celebration has precious cultural assets too, celebrants say. Sintayo Tamrat has more.
Mescal is a festival of both traditional and religious importance among Christians in Ethiopia. People in South Ethiopia mark the celebration throughout a week and the Demera lighting on Sunday with various assortments. Mescal causes the biggest gathering of families in the Gurage culture because they attach the festival high value. As partakers of this year's Mescal say, the festival is a manifestation of solidarity and good deeds.
In Gurage culture, people never eat alone. During this festival, people slaughter an ox or sheep. They share it with neighbors and those who don't have enough to mark the holiday. It is a festival with which people show solidarity. Mescal also brings families from different parts of the country and abroad. Apart from its religious and cultural status, Mescal is a festival that has precious values which make us mark it in a spirit of togetherness. It's a festival marked by shared meals with others. We shall preserve this tradition with all its original religious and cultural values to the posterity.
In Gamo zone as well, celebrants are marking it with various assortments. It started with the blessings by the elderly. They say the festival is a tool to preserve peace of the land.
It's these sorts of values of our tradition that help us maintain peace in our area. In fact, the Gamo people are known, even at national level, for the value it attaches for peace. The Gamo people are peace-loving people. No unrest has been witnessed here, while there have been recurrent unrests in different parts of the country.
In West Guji Zone, Oromia region, supporting the needy is given emphasis while marking the festival. Here, religious leaders urged Ethiopians to show unity to both internal and external enemies of the country.
We need to herald peace. We need to promote our national unity. We need to work hard for Ethiopia's prosperity. A large number of people have been displaced due to the conflict in North Ethiopia. So we have to help them. Otherwise, the festival would be incomplete.
And the celebrants at Gambela were urged to preserve national unity.
Mescal is a festival of peace, unity, and love. It's a symbol of peace, reconciliation, and liberty. So I ask in words of the cross those who quarreled to reconcile and those who create ethnic or religious or language discrimination to abandon this and be one. All of you shall maintain the unity of your country, Ethiopia. It is better to stay poor and save your country than to be a traitor and sell your freedom for the sake of dollars.
The renowned historian Ayele Bakari said Mescal celebration colorfully signals Ethiopia's long-standing position to preserve world heritage. Talking to ETV English, he said such public celebrations have to be maintained well to the generations to come, citing its economic, social, and religious importance. The historian further called upon the faithful to follow COVID-19 protocols while celebrating holidays. Alula Teklamariam reports as follows.
The Ethiopian festival of Mescal celebrates the discovery in the 4th century of the true cross, the cross on which Christ was crucified. Mescal simply means cross in Ge'ez, the ancient liturgical language of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. In the Ethiopian calendar, Mescal falls on Mescaram 17, which is September 27 or 28 in the Western calendar. It is celebrated the evening before the building bonfire called Demera, topped with mescal daisies, the flower that turns the Ethiopian highlands yellow every September. The renowned historian Ayele Bakuri explained the historical background of mescal celebration in Ethiopia.
Mescal celebration is linked to the finding of the true cross, which was found by Saint Helena, the mother of Constantine the Great. The cross gives you a chance to kind of publicly demonstrate your faith. So that's another important point about this. So we celebrate it for many reasons. And then I think the most important thing, by the way, while we celebrate what we call Demera, where we have the bonfire, which symbolizes what Empress Helena has done, is being celebrated on the 16th of September, which is Sunday, this coming Sunday. And then on Monday, we have the mescal. The cross becomes an instrument in which artists freely utilize all their imaginations.
He said such public celebrations have to be maintained well to the generations to come, citing its religious, economic, and social importance.
And I think what is important is that by celebrating this event, by kind of anchoring into this event, we show that we are a people who have international links, where we are linked with the rest of the Christian world. And so therefore, and finally, it is an event that is registered in World Heritage, UNESCO World Heritage. So that's also very important because it is capable of attracting tourists, both local tourists as well as international tourists.
Talking to ETV English, Dr. Ayele thus called upon the faithful follow COVID-19 protocols while attending the event.
You know, the COVID pandemic is really very serious, and then we have to follow the protocol of distancing, using masks, and then making sure that we sanitize our hands. And I believe Ethiopians would cooperate, and then they do so accordingly. I really believe that they do, and because it is very important for them, on the one hand, to celebrate and not to compromise the celebration, but on the other hand, to make sure that we also be aware of this very serious pandemic, which is really global.
Meanwhile, he said mescal celebration colorfully signals Ethiopia's long-standing position in preserving world heritage.
This cross, by the way, is an insignia of faith. The believers within a given church or within a given country like Ethiopia. Two, it becomes a symbol in which Ethiopians are linked to other Christians all over the world, especially the Orthodox Christians. Okay, so that becomes a material symbol, a sacred symbol in which they are all connected. So it kind of expresses our universality in a sense. I wish you a very happy and joyful mescal celebration.
ሳምቡሳና ባስቴ ከለመደሽ የት ጉልቻና ምጣድ በጀና ሰንብተብ
holiday in the Gurage zone. I didn't expect to see this is where the Gurage people live, in such a fertile, semi-mountainous region in the central Ethiopia, which is about 125 kilometers southwest of the capital Addis Ababa. This holiday is a yearly religious holiday in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which commemorates the discovery of the true cross in the 4th century.
አርሴ ገነና አርሴ ገነና አርሴ ድምጻዊ ደሳለኝ መርሻ እባላለሁ።
Welcome back again. Kaffa Zone residents said they are ready to undertake the southwestern Ethiopia referendum on September 30th, 2021. The zone administration, for its part, said they have undertaken activities with responsible stakeholders to realize the referendum peacefully. Habtamu Ashagri has more.
Zone is one of the 5 zones that will take part the southwestern Ethiopian referendum on September 13, 2021. Talking to TV, Bonga town residents in Kaffa Zone said they are ready to undertake the southwestern Ethiopia referendum.
We are ready to undertake the referendum for southwestern Ethiopia curiously. We are also ready to decide on our fate on September 30, 2021.
I and 50 of my employees have discussed how to participate in the southwestern Ethiopia referendum. Thus, we are waiting the day to vote.
You see good emotion and pleasure from the people. I'm also pleased. I believe that everyone will turn out and vote on September 30, 2021 peacefully.
Everyone needs to control some anti-peace elements which are trying to destabilize the referendum. I hope everyone can do it seriously so as to realize a peaceful referendum in this region.
The National Election Board of Ethiopia Kaffa Zone Election Coordination Office head Ahmed Abba Tamam said preparations are well underway to undertake the referendum.
We have provided awareness and capacity building trainings for over 1,800 election executives in the region. We have also received and distributed all election logistics into polling stations.
Information obtained from Kaffa Zone administration shows preparations well underway to undertake peaceful referendum on September 13, 2021.
In connection to the southwestern Ethiopia referendum, we have a phone conversation with Dr. Ersido Lendebo, who is a well-known politician, to clarify the case in point. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Ersido.
Thank you for giving me the chance.
As you know, various nations and nationalities in Ethiopia have been requesting for a referendum for the last 2 decades. And recently, the southwestern Ethiopia referendum process is well underway and is to be conducted in the coming Thursday. Can you tell us your personal observations about this referendum?
First and foremost, congratulations for the people living there. And as you know, this part being part of the ex-SNNPR, which is the Southern Nations and Nationalities Regional State, geographically it is really far from Hawassa. But I think that the whole thing is the issue of self-administration to be decentralized and taken to the people to the best benefit of addressing justice, development, and so on to the real people on the ground has been the question from those areas for the last two decades almost. So I think the people must be excited at this time, although the result should be declared after the referendum, but so many people can really guess what the result is going to be. And personally, I'm really happy for them, and I do expect that area to be a model region in this country, because the area which extends right from Dauro to the border of Gambela on the Benchmaji side to the border of Omo on the western Omo side has a big number of population and one of the most richest natural resources in this country, the forest, the gold, the coal deposits, the iron deposits, and the potential for agriculture, food security. tourism, and also the Gibe River Basin, the Gojab River Basin, all are there. So this area really can be a model Ethiopian region. What I wish is definitely if they end up into being a new region, I expect to have one of the best leadership around there and attract investment. So the positive prospect is by far bigger than the challenges as I see.
Interesting. So there's a large number of referendum requests in Ethiopia. What do you think are the potential advantages or disadvantages to undertaking referendums across the nation?
And the southwestern is so unique. So geographically, it is really far from the center. And this referendum should have been done a decade ago, as far as I'm concerned, for this area, because this is a really far area. And the other thing is, for me, the opportunity, as I've already raised, and based on the federalism principles, administration should go down to the people, well decentralized, and self-administration of Kabbales, Waradas, and zones should really happen to the ideal level where residents decide on their own fate at decentralized level. So when I talk about the self-determination and self-administration, I'm talking about self at Kabale level, self at Warada level, or self at zonal level. I'm not talking about ethnic groups level. So everybody who resides there, despite its ethnic identity, should be given the right for self-determination, from individual rights to communal rights. So that is the opportunity which I see. The challenge is, people and the leadership is supposed to be detached from the past exercise of, taking the people's rights in their hands, dictatorships, corruption, bad governance, and so on. So this is a real test and a serious challenge for the political leadership around there. So the challenge, definitely there is a challenge, but I don't think the challenge is, unmanageable. It can be managed. It can be managed with good participation of the people. It can be managed with the principles of democracy, rule of law, and upholding the individual right of every resident in that upcoming region. That really is an opportunity. So the challenge is really manageable. I do feel like that. The leadership should be prepared for that challenge. At the same time, the beauty is that is not a single ethnic group region. So it's a multi-national type of region, which gives a lesson for Ethiopia. Multiple ethnic groups can reside in one region in a very respected way, in a respectful manner, by addressing the rights of everybody. So necessarily every single ethnic group shouldn't have its own region as some think, but my worry is, at national level, there has to be a principle where it is based on what criteria does a region will be organized. So I do feel that because the upcoming new government will really work on the constitutional reform, and these things will be addressed. But before this massive reform comes, Southwest is a very experimental area, and I do feel it is going to be an opportunity and a learning opportunity for the whole nation, just like SNNPR did in the last 3 decades, despite its own challenges.
All right. Well-known politician, Dr. Ercido Lendebo, thank you very much for your insights. Appreciate it.
I'm not a politician anyway.
What are you?
I was thinking to correct. I'm not a politician. Maybe I may be called a political commentator to some extent, but I'm just a sovereign individual advocating for individual rights all over the country.
Well, thank you for that correction then. Have a great night.
Thank you, dear.
Stories from across Africa. The general who heads Sudan's ruling transitional authority on Sunday pledged to reform the army days after a failed coup. Sovereign Council Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan said any partisan activities are banned in the army to recognize the armed forces. Sudan is led by a civilian military administration under an August 2019 power-sharing deal signed after President Omar al-Bashir's ouster by the military in April that year, following mass protests. Sudan's government said it thwarted a September 21 coup attempt involving military officers and civilians linked to the regime of imprisoned Bashir. At least 11 officers were among those arrested. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok has since called for reforms in the army, a highly sensitive issue in Sudan. A transition to full civilian rule has remained shaky, reeling from deep fragmentation among political factions, economic woes, and a receding role for civilian leaders. And finally, hundreds of protesters took to the streets of Tunisian capital on Sunday, demanding the country's constitution be respected and parliament reinstated. In July, Tunisian President Kais Saied decided to sack the country's prime minister, suspend parliament, whose powers are now frozen, and assume executive authority, saying it was because of a national emergency. His critics called it a coup. President Kais Saied's recent decrees bolstered the already near total power he granted himself 2 months ago. They include the continuing suspension of the parliament's powers, the suspension of all lawmakers' immunity from prosecution, and a freeze on lawmakers' salaries. Dozens of Saied's supporters held a counter-protest, but were separated by security barriers. The protest comes amid a deep political crisis in Tunisia. You're watching Addis News Hour, a recap of the day's headlines. Religious leaders urge faithful to implement values of Mescal holiday. And Keffa Zone residents are ready to undertake the southwestern Ethiopia referendum. That's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha Domini. Thanks for watching. Once again, to all Ethiopian Christians, happy finding of the true cross.